Jasmine Crockett has just filed to run for Senate. And I got to say, here's some good news. Here's some real good news. She put out her first Senate campaign ad. And I never thought I would say this, honest to God. And you probably never would have imagined hearing me say this, but I agree with every word of this ad. She put out this ad as a Jasmine Crockett ad. I agree with every word. I cannot complain about a single thing. I got to say it's like 30 seconds long. And the whole thing I agree with. Never in a million years did I think that I'd ever be able to say that, but here we are. I think Jasmine Crockett has proved that it's still possible to reach across the aisle and find common ground, which I really respect and I find incredibly inspirational. Let's watch it.
How about this new one they have, the new star, Crockett? How about her?
She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person.
I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. Crockett. Oh, man. Oh, man.
She's a very low IQ person.
Somebody said the other day, she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
Wow. Could not have said it better myself, Jasmine. And that was the whole ad, by the way. Just to be clear, I didn't cut it off in the middle. I know you're watching that thinking, oh, you must have, you didn't show us the whole thing. No, that's it. That's the whole, there's no punchline. It's just Trump calling her stupid and then it ends. That's it. That's her opening argument. Her opening argument, to be in the Senate is that the president thinks she's stupid. That's it. So, it's your first ad. It's a big deal. This is your chance to say, like, here's why you should elect me. There's going to be a lot of other ads. We're going to talk about a lot of other things, but here's here's kind of my thesis statement. Here it is. Right? Here's my elevator pitch. This is your chance to make your elevator pitch to the voters. Here's what it boils down to. Here's why you should elect me. And for Jasmine Crockett, what she's saying is the reason you should elect me is that Donald Trump says I'm stupid. That's it. The premise of her mission statement is that Trump says she has a low IQ. Now, usually if you're going to do an ad like this, which I wouldn't really recommend. I wouldn't recommend having an ad where anyone is calling you low IQ, especially if it's so obviously true. But if you're going to do it, then the way that you would do it is you would have the comments from all the haters, and not just one guy, but you want to have, I mean, really, I'm a little offended too, because I've called her low IQ so many times. I mean, I've called her stupid. I know I'm not the president, but you could really spruce this up because a lot of us on the right have been calling you stupid, Jasmine. I've called you stupid so many times. I say it every day. And so, I mean, well, you can't make a spot for me. I think you could do a big compilation. The compilation could probably be an hour long, really be 2 hours long, of just everyone on the right calling you stupid. But here's what you would do, and this is what I would recommend if I had been asked, is and this is the way it would normally go for this. Like, I think what she's going for is it would be something like this. You have the montage of she's stupid, she'll never make it, she's dumber than a box of rocks, right? You know, she has the intelligence of a sea cucumber, all that kind of stuff. You would have all of that. And then it would lead to some kind of response, some kind of punchline where you demonstrate that you have transcended the doubters and the haters and that their criticisms are not true. Right? So in this case, it would be like Jasmine Crockett has low IQ, right? Low IQ, low IQ, low IQ for the first half of the ad. And then cut to a montage of Jasmine Crockett doing and saying a lot of impressive and smart things. That's the way that would go. But the problem, I think, for Crockett is that she has never done or said anything impressive ever in her entire life. The moment you hear her open her mouth and say anything, it is incredibly obvious that she cannot possibly have an IQ above 85 at a maximum. And so they don't have that. So that means that they don't have the response. They don't have the punchline, and they only have the setup. And that's it. It's like if you've ever seen one of those one of those hype videos or like highlight reels of a football player, let's say, and in the beginning of the video, it's a montage. It's like if you saw a hype video on YouTube, there's a million of them, of Lamar Jackson and Baltimore Ravens QB, who's having a really bad season, by the way. So maybe the Dodgers were right all along. That's a different conversation. But anyway, it's like a hype video where in the beginning, it's all the people saying, oh, he'll never make it. He's really a running back. He's not good enough to be a quarterback in this league. And you get all the haters and doubters. And then you cut to, oh, he's washed up. He's whatever. He's a bust. And then you cut to, right, needle drop, boom. Now we have him making a whole bunch of great plays and proving the doubters wrong and winning, right? That's usually the way that goes. If this would be like a hype reel of an athlete where you get the beginning, he's washed up, he's a bum, he's past his prime, he's a draft bust, he's not going to make it, he's no good. And then it just ends. That's it. That's the end of it. So the message is basically, well, you know, they said I couldn't do it. They said I'm not good enough. They said I'm too stupid. And it turns out they were kind of right. You know, the doubters, they kind of had me pegged on that one. I do suck. That's basically what she's saying. It is the worst political ad I've ever seen. It is, this maybe even beats that Christine O'Donnell ad from like 15 or 20 years ago, if you remember. That was the Tea Party lady who was, what was it? She was accused of witchcraft or something. And then she put out an ad, and at the beginning of the ad opens with her staring into the camera and saying, I am not a witch. And that was the worst ad of all time. We'd never seen an ad that terrible. And that was her, I think, maybe her first ad, or maybe it wasn't. But it's just, the opening line of the ad is you saying, I'm not a witch. And I thought that no ad could ever be worse than that, but I think this might have a beat. And with Jasmine Crockett, what makes it so bad, it's not just that she's highlighting her low IQ. I mean, that's the big problem with the ad. But the other problem is that the entire pitch revolves around Trump, right? The real pitch to voters here is that Trump doesn't like her. That's the actual point that she's making, obviously. And that's all she has, because she hasn't done anything for her constituents. She hasn't achieved anything. She hasn't done anything. She's done absolutely nothing except appear on podcasts and say a lot of really dumb things. And so her whole pitch for why she should be in the Senate is that Trump doesn't like her. I will say, though, that Jasmine Crockett did present a little bit more of a robust case at her campaign kickoff event when we were treated to whatever this is exactly.
And we're going to see how this go. All right, y'all ready? Let's get into it. Okay. She ain't never scared and she ain't never been. Who always willing to go toe-to-toe against the president? I can't wrap my head around someone who votes Republican. She advocate for feeding kids, they protect folks touching them. Trump invading his own country with our army, what a joke. We remember Pearl Harbor by illegally bombing boats. But y'all thought we wasn't gonna do nothing, buddy, think again. They only trying to scare out of running cause they think she'll win. Listen, thought I told y'all we ain't never scared. Now look who name on the docket. Got 2 words for every racist bigot. Jasmine Crockett. Y'all hear the words. Me, I hope my money goes to side that isn't trying to say affordability's a hope. She stand on business, Austin toes. Texas soap, don't need no more bad built, bleached, blonde, butch bodies moving forward.
Okay, so
some of the words messed up.
Yeah, not exactly a serious campaign, just to summarize. Not only do you have a bad rap song, but the guy performing it doesn't even remember the words. And, you know, rap has, this is kind of a whole other topic, but rap music has fallen off a cliff. And I think recently it was like the first time in decades that there was not a single rap song in the top 40. And that was a few weeks ago. I'm not sure if that's still the case, but it's not as popular as it used to be. I think there's a lot of reasons for that. And I mean, one of the reasons is that every genre of music has become, shall we say, urbanized, and which means that it's kind of like rap doesn't have a lane anymore. You don't really need it. Even when country now sounds like urban, now it's like, well, what do we need rap for? That's one of the problems. But another problem is that it's kind of that. It's just kind of, it's sort of lazy. Like if you're performing a rap, at least make the words rhyme. Right? That's the whole point. I mean, it's a very lyrical form of art form, and I do believe it is an art form. It can be an art form, but it's very lyrical, and so you have to actually rhyme. And I'm listening to that, and he tries to rhyme Republican with folks touching them. It doesn't quite work. I mean, it's hard to come up with a word that rhymes with Republican. I'll agree with you, but maybe just find a different line. And, some people have wondered what Jasmine Crockett is really up to here. She's launching this campaign in Texas, a Trump state, a red state. Her entire platform is that she hates Trump and Trump hates her.